I hate the cloud. Who the fuck invented the cloud? But that's not what this video is about. This is the third time that I'm recording because the first time my camera stopped working, typical things. The last time, just right now, I was recording, I was starting to show the full card and it just fucking stopped because it wanted to notify me, hey, my cloud storage is out. I'm like, no one, like, no, the fucking cloud is the worst thing ever created. Like, who invented it? Like, who wanted that? Who said, you know what we need the cloud? No, no, we don't. I'm like, no, it's like, I don't get it, you know? And it's like, no, I just, no. Anyways, here we have the Star Tarot. Let me go through this really quick because I'm sick and tired of going through this. Packaging. Okay, this shit. This is dumb. This is dumb. I don't know why Schiffer Publishing puts these in here. Like, what is going on with this? My gosh, I don't like that. Stop that. Schiffer, you're losing points here. Guidebook, amazing, amazing, amazing. It has the symbols here. They're in bold, so you can find out what the symbols mean, if there is any. And if there's any symbols that she doesn't point out, you can find them out in elsewhere on the internet or in a symbols book if you have one. Lots and lots of information. One thing though, no spreads, which I don't think Schiffer books have any spreads except for like the Marielle, but the Ostara Tarot didn't have any spreads as far as I can tell, so that's a shame. Uh, Cardstock, typical thick Schiffer cardstock. It does have super sticky lamination. Well, I don't like to say sticky because that just feels gross. It's suctiony. It has like a suction kind of thing where you can't really separate them easily, but that'll just wear out over time the more you shuffle them. Or if you get, I think it's called like fanning powder, or if you put them in like flour or baking soda, I think, if you just rub that, like kind of like that, if you put them, dust them between the cards, you know, and you get them between all the cards and you give them a good shuffle and you like rub them like that, I think it should help. Because you just need to like roughen up the edges just a little bit, just a tiny bit, and that should fix it up. Another thing, this deck is unevenly cut for some reason. They're like very slight, but you can feel them. And it's like if I wanted those uneven cuts, I just trimmed this deck myself. And I know a lot of people are going to trim this deck themselves because as you can see here, they're very, like the art itself is so small and the borders are so fucking huge. What the hell? Um, anyways, uh, there's some chipping going on here, and this isn't the only card it has that has it. As you can see right here and right here, you can see that right there on the back. But again, you know, it's whatever. But also, I had to corner around all the corners because the ones that I was gonna corner around, when I corner rounded them, they made them even shorter than the rest of them. They made them too wide, so I didn't have the right exact corner rounder size as they had. So I just corner rounded them all on the extra large corner rounder, and it really didn't change much, but it did make them much more even on the corners at least, and it's a little bit nicer, but it's still really bad. Like I'm not the only one that got this deck and has the same issues with it. So yeah, but so keep that in mind if you want to get this deck, and I do recommend getting it. But again, if you do get it, plan on trimming it if you're a trimmer. Another thing, I'm not sure if I will trim it. I probably won't. I hate trimming. It's super stressful. But the result looks so nice. But like the shuffles, just ugh. That's for another video though. Here we go with the art. Here we have the Fool. I'm sorry, it looks really weird to me because my phone is a little bit dirty because has like fingerprint smudges, but it should look good here. I'm just gonna go through them. I'm gonna try not to go through all the cards. I'm gonna try to talk about the deck as I go through it. There are traditional Rider-Waite Smith and Thoth well blended into here, into this deck. But she also throws in, not just throws in, but she also adds in pretty well, blends it in a Native American symbolism, as you can see here with the Emperor. If it'll focus, no, you're not gonna focus. No, come on. I know you can. No, come on, phone. Focus. There you go. Look at that. There we go. Look, he has the ram. Very sorry, my nails look so gross, but you know. But he also has like a lot of Native American symbols here. Let me go back to autofocus. There we go. So yeah, but again, this deck has like tons of like tiny little symbols here, and I know a lot of tarot readers are much older, and so their eyes, so eyesight, is a factor in here. Jamie Loom is also telling me that her deck seems a little bit out of focus. Let me see it. This thing doesn't want to focus onto these cards for some reason. Come on, you can focus on them. Come on. Can you focus on my finger at least? Come on. No, it wants to focus back there for some reason. Why? Stop that. Like, I don't know. I don't see any like out of focus thing, but the thing it could be, and I told her this, is that it could be out of focus because the major arcana were made much later in much earlier, back in like the 90s. She started this in 1991 with and she like stopped and finished throughout the year, and barely now did she finish this deck. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to hold it like in an angle like this way because that's where the light is coming from, and the lighting is really good here, but at what cost? So yeah, let me just try to fold it back right there. Come on, focus. There we go. My gosh, this deck is impossible to focus on for some reason. It's probably the glare. Anyways, so yeah, it's a gorgeous deck, but I feel like for how much work and time and effort was put into this, it it, it deserves much better like cardstock and a larger size and no borders. Like this deck, like it doesn't need these huge ass borders. Who told them? Oh my god. You know what people are loving right now? Fucking oh my gosh, I can't even talk right now. Fucking huge ass borders. Like no one likes these huge borders. Who says that? I don't mind borders, Like I have plenty of decks that have like pretty big borders, but it's like when the cards are like this complex and this like this has so many details, you kind of want a larger picture, not larger borders. It's like publishers should really work more with the creators rather than uh like it's like apparently they once you like give them the art, like once a deck creator gives them the art for the deck, they make the borders themselves and whatnot. I don't know, because it's like you also have Terror of the Hidden Realms, which is a borderless deck, and I don't know how they got that. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows? They need to make more borderless decks more readily available. So yeah. And it's like barely this year they barely printed like last month or this or this month the Rider-Waite-Smith in a borderless edition. So yeah. The courts can be a little bit confusing. They go prince or princess depending on the suit, because all the wands and the swords, the masculine suits have prince. The coins and the cups have feminine suits. Are the feminine suits, so they have princesses on there. So yeah. She does give knights air, but I give knights fire, which is a personal thing. But that varies from person to person. So I love this Queen of Wands with the panther right there. You have the kings are given fire, which again I give the kings air. So those elements are switched. So yeah, here's a good example of the Thoth and the Rider-Waite-Smith blending. You have these two people like in the Thoth offering two cups here, but you also have two dolphins here at the bottom, which is a Thoth idea here. And here you can see like the cups themselves kind of take the forefront, and meanwhile the people go into the background. I like how her braid is like connected to what is that, the world? Or no, is that like a ring or a sphere? Or is that not connected to her and I just think it looks connected? Well, anyways. Here we have the Four of Cups. Again, it's like some of them have people in them, some of them have no people in them. For the most part, though, the items have the suits, the suit pip symbols are what takes the forefront, I feel, and throughout the cards. And here there's like no people, you know? So it is like Thoth inspired in that way, where it's like only the pips, but they're decorated pips, not illustrated pips, which is a really confusing thing, but if once you see and compare and see what I'm talking about, you'll be like, oh yeah. But still, it is very, very gorgeous. She did a like she just did such a good job here. So yeah, I like how the fish, like the flying fish, turn into like a dove here. So beautiful. Queen with the ibis. There's a lot of animals in here: whales and dolphins, flying fish. Uh, Here we have the sword again, traditional, very Thoth golden dawnish, with the rising sun behind it, piercing the darkness. Here we have the Two of Swords, which here actually is she intended to be reversible for some reason. She explains it in the guidebook. I kind of looked at it, but I can't remember quite well what it was. So yeah. Three bears there and a fish under the frozen pond, I think. It should be, yeah, it's winter, so hibernation. Five of Swords. I think the Six of Swords has the cross in it in the Thoth. So yeah, and you can see that Thoth inspiration in the background and in the design of this one. So yeah, so it's like she blends in the Thoth, the Rider-Waite Smith, and Golden Dawn imagery like that, and also she incorporates chakras and Native American symbolism as well. As well as animal symbols as well. So it's a really, really well put together deck. And I love it. But those borders and everything, like besides the art and like the deck itself, you know, like the art of the deck, you know, and like, you know, the symbolism of it, you know, it looks pretty well put together. But the borders and the cutting of this deck is just really not well put together. I'm not a fan. You know, that's all I can say. I'm just not a fan of the borders and how this deck is cut. The White Buffalo Woman, I've barely heard about this that mythology story back like a month ago or a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. But yeah. This is one of my favorite cards because of the tiger. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I like this one because if you see here, it sounds weird because I already said this in the previous walkthrough I did, but they're all like connected. He has his arms around, his hand around her hand is around him. He is holding onto her braid, and she has her hand on his shoulder, which I just love. And like the borders around here, you see a bunch of little animals and symbols in there and flowers. The white rose among the red ones. That's very interesting. Lots of intuitive hits in this one. And look at this, the Princess of Pentacles. The Pentacle courts are so like decorative, and they have so much going on in them. She also incorporates crystals as well in throughout her deck, like the Fool. I don't know if you could see it, if you could see, but he's holding a crystal in his hand. Oh, look at that! She's holding a little fawn right there, or a bunny? No, it's like a little fawn. Yeah, and it's asleep. How cute. I'm trying to think if there's like, I know, like if you keep your eyes out on this and on the art, you'll find little symbols in there, and that's what I like about the tarot. You know, finding symbols, and like you can read with this deck in like 10 years, you'll find like a couple of symbols that you never really focused on, or that you never really saw before. So yeah, shuffling. Okay, well that was a bad shuffle, but it shuffles okay even with those uneven cuts. You know, like, see, I still get a pretty good shuffle in there. But it's like, okay, so yeah, this is like the 7th shuffle that I've given this deck, probably, like, or maybe like its 10th shuffle. I'm not sure how many exactly, but now, as you can see, it used to, I might do it right now where, yeah, you see how it kind of does that? I'm trying to make it. There we go. You see how it kind of jams up and stops? That's just the suction of the lamination, kind of holding back the flow of the shuffle, you know, which, you know, it's fine, you know, but it is pretty difficult if you don't do that bridge style and you try to shove this in like this. It's really, really difficult to do it like that. So, yeah, it's kind of infuriating, especially when, like, look at that. Oh my gosh, what card fell out? Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. What you gotta say to us? Look at that. So many flowers. Hold on. What is that? Oh my gosh, I'm like, what the hell is that thing? Oh my gosh, there's like a little fairy on here. Let's see what else. There's so much. There's golden apples, the three rivers, crocuses. I think those are crocuses. If not, they're irises. You have a sleeping bear here. Oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. Anyways, but yeah, this is a really, really nice deck. It does have its flaws, but I'm pretty sure maybe later. No, probably not. I don't know. Hopefully they'll fix these flaws later down in the next year or so. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I need and so yeah, I need bags. Actually, this is my Rackham Oracle bag, but I keep this one in it right now because I had to switch around a few decks. Because I have 0 bags, and this deck was like still. Oops, sorry about that. But this deck was just standing out by itself, like or in its box, and I don't like keeping it in its box because it takes so much space. But anyways, I need bags. I'm probably gonna order them from Baba Studios. I'm probably gonna order them with like order some bags from them, and then order some bags from another shop that I found like. I think her name is like Octavia, something like that. I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but I'll link the Etsy shop down below. She has really, really nice bags. Uh, so, yeah, but Baba Studios, I'm probably gonna order like probably like 3 bags from them because they have really, really nice bags. But anyways, enough of that. I have 2 more walkthroughs to do, and I hope I don't have as much problems with those as I did with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, if you like this walkthrough, comment down below what you guys think of the borders, because I hate these borders. Uh, and yeah, subscribe if you want to see more walkthroughs, and comment down below what decks you want to see, what other walkthroughs or decks that you want to see that there aren't any walkthroughs of. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye.